Hi, I'm astrologer Colin Bedell. I launched an Instagram called Queer Cosmos in 2017. And along the way, I've never started a podcast, initiated a Patreon. And along the last 9 years, I have had an extraordinary time working as an astrologer. I have keynoted at some of the best conferences in the United States. I have traveled the world with specific media opportunities. I have had an incredible time meeting each and every one of you one-on-one in astrology readings. And when I write horoscopes and remember the fact that 9 million people are reading this at a specific time, it just fills me with a tremendous sense of appreciation and awe for the work that I get to do. Over the last few years, I have noticed that I wanted to teach astrology differently, but I was really feeling as if it was time for me to teach astrology the way that it was taught to me. When I was 11 or 12 years old, I really started to advance my study of astrology. I heard my mother talking about it in the house, and it was mainly to talk shit about my father, who she's still married to, by the way, so he couldn't be that bad, okay? And she'd always go, oh my God, your father, he's such a Leo. And then you, the Gemini twins, because I'm a Gemini and a twin, and I would go, what the hell is she talking about? Next thing I know, I'm learning astrology. I'm on AOL.com, typing stuff in, learning about my natal chart in 2001. I never really had any kind of professional ambition to do this. I've just been doing it for the love of it. And it wasn't until 2017 when I became an astrologer almost out of necessity. I had launched a website, queercosmos.com, and I wanted it to just be a kind of creative outlet. At the time, I was working in the textile industry. I was fairly happy with my job. I earned a master's degree at Parsons New School for Design. I was really immersed in visual and material culture. But I thought to myself, let me just start a website about astrology. And 2 weeks after I started the website, I was fired. And I thought to myself, actually on my mother's birthday, which is interesting because she was the one that got me into astrology, imagine that, June 22nd. And I thought, all right, I'm gonna go all in on this and see where this takes me. And I started just posting and figuring out ways to share horoscopes on Instagram, ways to publish horoscopes. And in September of 2017, Cosmo US found one of the Instagram posts that I had written and asked if I'd be willing to write their weekly horoscope features. So within 3 months, I had a horoscope writing gig at probably America's best horoscope writing position. 2 months later, when my unemployment ended from the great state of New Jersey, okay, I was actually offered my very first literary contract. And then I started writing astrology and publishing it in a wider way. So I'm sharing this to share that so much of my career has sort of been by chance. It just sort of happened. And frankly, I wasn't really prepared. I've been in many ways just sort of pulling rabbits out of a hat and hoping, okay, I'll do this to pay my rent, I'll do this to pay my bills, I'll do this to pay this person back, yada, yada. And over the last few years, I've been able to stabilize my work and my financial sufficiency, thank God, through my astrology business. And in so many ways, my astrology business really healed me. Now, again, because I've been really immersed in the professional industry of astrology, I am so grateful for how my colleagues continue to teach this craft in very exceptional, studious, masterful, structured curriculums. I think we really need to learn the tools, the techniques, the methods, the approaches, absolutely. And I sort of felt a little bit alienated by particular styles of teaching because, again, I really wasn't learning astrology to do it professionally. I was just doing it because I loved it. And I learned astrology primarily at the dance clubs of New York City, honey. Okay, just by gathering with certain people out of the club. Why do you dance so well? Is it because you're a Scorpio? And all of a sudden, I was learning astrology because people were talking. People were sharing. People were providing some insight into their chart because they were revealing the truth of their heart. And I started observing and developing my own patterns and qualifying. Oh, so to be a Leo, you express yourself this way. To be a Gemini, this is how you ask questions. To be a Taurus, this is how you live into your values and you're the best DJ of the zodiac. And when I advanced my career in astrology, I noticed that there wasn't enough experiential learning. There absolutely is in certain respects, but what I really wanted to do was create a space, a universe really, where people can learn astrology the way that it was taught to me, through entertainment, through the arts, through people-focused astrology. That's why Signs in the City was born. Because if I wasn't born and raised in the New York metropolitan area, okay, born, bred, and brought in Long Island, then I moved to the city, yada, yada, okay, then I genuinely believe I would not have this career because I was in an art school, because I was in New York City, and because I was seeing these particular principles come alive in other people. That completely changed the way that I not only experience astrology, but want to educate you on it. So that's why Signs in the City is here, because I feel like I finally have a specific point of view in a particular position that I want to share with you. And so in this Patreon, what we're gonna do together is, of course, learn astrology in very foundational ways. So we're gonna do live gatherings, we're gonna do live workshops, we might even do live readings where we can talk about these principles. And if you are a Patreon subscriber of Signs in the City, you'll receive early, uncensored, and ad-free content with me and my bitches. So you can continue to learn about astrology, how it impacts your life, and then hopefully how it qualifies your relationships as well. We're gonna look at the horoscopes each month so we can be prepared and not scared in this house, because what astrology needs to do for you is make sure that it is keeping you safe and setting you free. So I would really love to have you in Signs in the City, because as you probably are aware, New York City is that girl. Are you kidding me? New York City in all of her glory right now is the place to be. Not the only, so don't worry, but the place to be. And I think there's so much spirituality here that doesn't often get a tremendous amount of airtime. And when I think of what it means to be spiritual, of course, we're talking about the path of the heart. We're talking about systems, techniques, and practices. But wherever there are people, there is spirit. And when we realize that there is a really specific frequency here, and the spirituality of New York is not just, of course, in its streets and its culture and its incredible environment and energy, but it's in the people that are proud to, that are very proud to call this place home. And I want you to feel at home with us here. I want you to feel at home with Signs in the City. And I want you to feel at home with me and my friends and my colleagues and my family, because that's all we really are trying to do, right? Is find home in place and home in people. And it's my goal to bring you here in that way. So would love to have you in Signs in the City. I'm gonna stop crying now, and that's all I have for you.